good evening, everybody. Need to look up this way. How y'all doing tonight? I hope all is well. We're excited to be a part of this live. We're excited. We had a little technical difficulties, but we're here. We're up here going live tonight talking about is love blind. I got my brothers and sisters with me. I'm so excited because we're gonna have a good conversation tonight. We're gonna have a good conversation. So here I have my brother and sister, Anja and Brandon Williams. I got my other brother and sister, Jared and Felicia. I got my other brother, Lawrence and Alette, and I'm gonna bring them on one at a time, and we're gonna have this subject, talk about this subject. Thank you guys for coming in. Push the share button so somebody else can join us. Push the share button so that we can have other people in the audience. I'm so excited. My first guest I'm gonna bring on is gonna be the youngest that just got married. So I hope they're ready. Y'all ready? No. We're gonna bring on the youngest first, and we're gonna y'all excuse me. We're gonna respect the elders and let them come on last, okay? So we're gonna bring on Brandon and Anja. They're the newest married couple, and I'm gonna make sure I can do this. Y'all bear with me. I am learning this. Hey y'all, did I do it? Hello, can y'all hear me?
Hi.
Hey,
Ah,
yeah.
Yes, can you hear us?
all right, great. So this is my brother and sister Anja and Brandon. The question is love blind? And I know that's a broad conversation. It could come from all angles, but I want to hear from each one of you perspective. Is love blind? Let's go.
Um, I feel like based on where the relationship starts and where it's going, certain aspects of that relationship or that love can be blind because when you like even before you date and you just trying to get to know each other, you know you a lot of times you put your best foot forward. So a lot of times for us in this world, most of the time it's a slight facade, depending on how we was raised and how we brought up and just who we are, because you won't put on everything. You want to show that you capable of doing X, Y, and Z. You nice, you personable, you funny, all of these things. But then as you progress and you find like you start actually dating and you actually start learning about people, like dislikes, pet peeves, things like that, like things and then you get deeper into that relationship, and then you start learning about like love languages and how people what people and people's needs and things like that. And then when you transition into marriage, like you think that you done learned everything, but then that's when you really like go into knowing that love is really blind, because it's like, wait, when we was dating, this was, and now not like it's drastic. I mean, at least not for us, but like for some people, it's a whole, they pulling out, it's the mask going up in the closet and the heads hanging on the wall. It's like a whole different person. So
They taking off their eyeballs and their hair.
yeah, so it's a, now you like some people like I'm living with a completely different person. So it can be blind, but and that's on the surface side, but then it's also blind on actually getting to know the inner part of your spouse or whoever you're in a relationship with, because now that y'all together, y'all might have talked about certain things, but when you're getting to marriage, it's like everything's connected. So you feel all of those things, and you might not know what's going on, but you feeling something because it's a different connection now. And you like, wait, what's going on? And if y'all haven't communicated about certain things that happened in your life previously, you start thinking like, why am I feeling this feeling now? and
Mhm.
you didn't love this person so much, but you didn't know that this was inside of them either, that they were going through this. So love can be blind. That's how I look at
So you
What
saying
he
can?
said.
You didn't say yes or you didn't say no. It can be.
it. Yeah, I mean, it can. Yeah, it can be. It can be.
Okay. All right, Anja, what you got to say?
I feel like he said it all. He said
Ah,
exactly how I
everything.
feel. Pretty much. Like he said, you know what you know until you don't. And only
Okay.
experiences that you all go through together can you see those blind parts um, of each other.
I can't believe that's all you got to say, girl. I'm surprised with that. You just trying to agree with him for just you don't have
No,
nothing. You don't
no.
have nothing else.
I genuinely agree with what he said.
Oh, I believe it's genuine. All right, so we're gonna bring on our next couple because I'm not gonna be talking and having all the talking on my own. I want to hear everybody's perspective. So our next brother and sister got married before. Listen, y'all gotta tell when y'all got married. That's what y'all need to do. They ain't been married long. They got married. When did y'all get married?
December 30th, 2021.
Okay, so they haven't. How long is that? A year, 2 years.
It'll
It'll
be
be
3
3 years in
years.
December. So
And y'all did that in harmony.
we only what 6 months from Fee and Jared,
Yeah.
7 months because they got married in May, so it's like 7 months. Yeah.
That's it.
hmm
Oh, I
They
thought y'all
got
was like a
married
year
on they
apart.
got married on May 30th.
Oh, wow. So
May
let me bring
30th.
them in so y'all can talk about that a little bit more. All right, here come my brother and sister Felicia and Jared. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
How y'all doing tonight?
good. Can't complain. Tired,
You
but we're
can
good.
complain, but you ain't going
It
to.
don't make
You
sense to.
can. It don't. It don't. Hey, brothers and sisters. So, is love blind? Let's talk about that.
Well, we have different. We have different
Good.
things. You can go first because you got notes.
I am.
You can go.
she put.
I
Don't
don't
be
know.
putting my brother out like that. He got
No,
notes.
he was prepared for this since last week. He made his notes. He's ready.
No,
Because I
I know
thought
he was
about
trying to change my subject. I
no.
know that.
Because I thought
Let
about it. And I
me.
was like, it was like the question. Your question was like, is love blind? Yes or no? But I'm like, it can be. It depends on how you look at it and how you start your relationship. To me, and depending on for some people, especially even younger than us, it can be blinding. Is what I think.
Blind bees.
Yeah, it's like a whole
So what
different
you mean
thing.
by that? It could
Just
be blind bees.
being so fresh into it, like you don't notice anything. You just so happy and in bliss. You don't see nothing. So whatever. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, he did this. Oh, that's cool. I just love this person so much. Oh my god. I did.
Mhm.
Oh my god. I didn't know you had 7 baby mamas. Oh wait a minute. Wait a
I
minute. I didn't know about this one. Wait a minute. But I love him. Okay, okay. Hey, now 7 baby mamas want to be me. Wait a minute. You don't see it till it come. Like you so far into it at this point, it's like, ooh.
Now, why would you be with somebody and you don't know that they got seven baby mamas?
Some people are just so happy that they found somebody. It might have been so
What?
long since they've been with somebody or a brand new first relationship. They never saw
Mm-mm.
anything. And if the other person is a manipulator, I'm not gonna show you anything. So you thinking
I get,
happy rainbows and colors and sweets and
I
candy.
get that. But you should be asking some kind of questions or know some about them.
Yeah, but some
No.
people just so happy about it. They're like, oh, well, that's okay. And you sit there and you blind yourself to everything else because that's like, I just want this relationship. No, I'm not gonna worry about nothing else because I'm just happy with this person. So you put on blinders to everything around you until it's just
I
to a
get
point
that.
where you can't blind the rest of this. It's too much. Then what do you do from there?
I get that.
So to me, I think I'm in a toss up on it on yes and no.
Okay.
Because to some of it, if you watch a person enough and with experience, you learn certain things. You see things before it happens. So that's why I say it all goes down to your experience level with love. You get some experience, you start to learn. You start to learn a thing or two. Like, okay, well, you ain't calling me as much here and there. So okay, why? You don't call me at this time. This time, oh, you space out. I might not hear from you for 3 days, and you come back. Certain things you see red flags.
You do.
But some people just, oh, I'm happy, this and that, and it's all great and good. Oh, it's just 3 days. And you blind yourself to an extent
Okay. I
because
agree.
I love this person.
That's right.
It's a toss
All
up.
right. All right, B.
So I think that love is blind, but in my perspective, I feel like it goes with your age. So me and Ira were having a conversation earlier today about all the red flags that we knew we did not need to deal with in previous relationships, and we heard the Holy Spirit telling us not to do it, and we changed the flags to be pink and
Mhm.
purple and every other color and thinking that they'll change over time. So I feel like as I've gotten older, um after a bad relationship, my eyes were more open. Like, okay, I see this. Are you gonna be like this all the time? Like, what are you gonna do when this happens? Instead of in a earlier, like in a bad relationship or a young relationship, it's like, oh, okay, they're just a little mad, or they're gonna be okay, like sweeping more stuff under the rug instead of really like dealing with it and calling them on it and telling people, how I feel about certain things. Like, I don't like when you do this. This make me feel XYZ. But for me, I feel like that came with age, like getting old and mainly paying attention. Because if I didn't pay attention, I'd still be in La La World.
Right. Well, I talked to the young people like a couple of Mondays or last Monday, I believe, and they think that they feel like that you're supposed to control the person, or they were told that there's certain things you got to do to make them do certain things for you in their relationship. And I was like, where do y'all get that from? They just saw that that's what most people do. So they were saying they was anticipating when they get a mate. Like the girls were saying that mainly. We only had one. Well, I had two guys up there, but he didn't say much. The the girls were saying we anticipate them to be a certain way. We expect them to be a certain way. And I was like, you can't really change a person, but we in ourselves think that we can. So we'll overlook certain things in order to just, oh, it's all right. They're gonna get better. And they may not. They may not. So love was not blind to some of them, it was blind to the others. It was good information, so it's right. I think different age, you see different things. Right? So since we're talking about age, I want to bring on a couple that's been in this thing for a good little while and want to hear what they got to say about love being blind. All right, y'all ready to come on? All right, here they go.
What's popping?
Look at him with his
Much obliged
with his head
Yeah.
on. That's my
to my
brother
family.
Lord and my sister
Love you all.
Elect.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
just
Look
love
at him.
everybody.
Look at him. Coming
Look,
up here, cutting up already with his head on. Really?
yeah,
Look.
That man ready.
You
ain't,
can just talk
ain't
to
no
Miss
joke.
Elect.
Listen, all she can do is shake her head. All she can do is shake her head. Let's talk about it. Is love blind? Alette and Lawrence, is love blind?
I think it can be. I think it very well can be, but a lot of factors are to be considered when we're talking about love. What is love? Love is an emotion, an intense, strong feeling that you may have for someone or something, but it's blind, not being able to see because
Uh,
of whatever reason, a sickness, a disease, you were born that way, you can't see. So when we have relationships, things happen, trials and tests come, and I think it's at that time where love is tested. So, with that being said, I think it can be blind because let's be real. When you've been in a relationship, and it don't have to be a long time, it could be a short-term relationship, but you may feel very strongly about this person and they may do something that's very hurtful to you. But because you love them, you ignore it, you forgive them, you move on.
Yeah.
You get past the hurt and the pain.
Thank you.
You get past the hurt and the pain, and you continue on with the relationship. I really do feel that love can be blind because every day is not peachy. Y'all not gonna always agree on the same things, and things can get intense. So what do you do? Run from every relationship because you don't like something that the other person did? Or do you turn your cheek to it and move forward? If you turn your cheek to it and you feel like your heart done been twisted in a million pieces, then to me, love is blind. Also, I feel like, for instance, when somebody love you and they care, love being blind is an unconditional love to me.
Okay.
It's unconditional. It loves no matter what. And some things don't even have to be said. When a person love you and they see things out of order or they see things that's needed, they do it without having to be asked.
Right.
They come forward with it without having to be asked. You don't have to say a mumbling word. When they love you unconditionally and they see what the situation is, they step up and they do what needs to be done. So I feel like love is blind. I've been blinded. I still can't see. I still can't see. And I ain't being honest. Love, I really do feel like love can be blind because people be put in some real tested situations,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And for me, in my situations, I had to look at my pros and my cons. Do my pros outweigh my cons? Well, if my pros outweigh my cons, then I can look the other way and move forward. And
What you
that's
mean by your pros outweigh your cons?
so. Uh, let's see. I'ma be real, okay? I have a stepdaughter, right? She is 27 years old.
Kerrigan.
Okay. Something the name.
When I met Lawrence, he didn't have her. He had a
Okay.
son. He had a son who was about 18 months. And I had a son who was about 5.
And we weren't married then.
And we were not married, but we were dating.
Mm-hmm.
We were dating. And lo and behold, Lawrence comes and springs some news on me
Chief Omonger.
that somebody is having a child for him.
Mm-hmm.
What? What you mean they having a child? So that was a testing situation for me. And we did separate because he was still trying to lie. I'ma just be honest here. He said some words that gave me comfort at the time, like I'm not gonna be bothered with the child. Don't judge, y'all. Don't judge.
That's right. That's right. No judgment.
I'm not gonna be bothered with the child. Yada yada yada. You don't have to worry about that. So that gave me comfort at that time because my heart was hurting. Like I met you, you didn't have where this happened at? Where was I? What was wrong with me and you that you had to step out like that? So, long story short, one day I am not having a good feeling about something, and so I go do my own investigating. And what do I see? I see Mr. Lawrence walking into the house where the child is. So Now I'm really furious because you told me you wasn't gonna have anything to do with the child, and at this point, I feel like if you change your mind, that's fine. You have the right to do that, but come to me and say that. Don't be tiptoeing and backdooring, trying to be sneaky about the situation and not letting me know what's going on. So when we got together, that was the issue for us. So we separated for a little while, and then we got back together and we moved on. There was no relationship between him and the mother. He decided he was going to be a part of the child's life. And so I thought I was good with that. But a lot of times, y'all, I was sitting there crying and boo-hooing because my heart was still hurting. And one day, my mama came over to my house, asked me what was wrong. I'll never forget. It was Kerrigan's birthday. She probably was making one. I don't think she was 1 or 2, maybe 1. I don't remember. But he was going on to the birthday celebration or whatever they was doing, and I stayed home. So my mama came over there, and I was upset, and I was crying, and my mama talked to me, and she was like, "What you crying for?" And I told her, and she said, "Let me tell you something. You're going to have to decide if you want to be with this man, because that child going to be around for another 18 years for sure. That's a guarantee, 18 years, but probably longer than that after she get 18. But for sure, for 18 years, she is going to be a part of y'all life. So you're going to have to suck up them tears and put it behind you. Forgive him for it and move forward. Don't be throwing it in his face. Forgive him for it and move forward, or let it go." And from that day on, I never dropped another tear. I moved forward. I looked at what I had in him as a man. He was a provider. He was a protector. He treated me like a lady. I never had to want for anything. Before I could ask for something, I had it. He was like that then, and he is like that today. So when I say your pros and your cons, that's what I'm talking about. Is this a man that's laying down on me, not doing nothing, not sharing his load as a spouse, as a father? Or we just married and I'm carrying everything on my back? I'm being the mama and the daddy? No, it's not like that. He has a lot of good qualities. So I knew that back then because he had already shown those things to me. So I decided I was going to turn the other cheek and I was going to stay with him. And now we've been together for
29 years.
29 years.
Wow. That's a long time.
A lot
That
of
is-
ups and downs, a lot of being blind.
Mm-hmm.
Not that situation though. Let me just clear the air. Not to that. Okay, you made a mistake. I ain't taking no more licks like that.
I was told that.
Not in this lifetime. I ain't taking no more
I
licks
was told
like
that
that.
to the current.
None. None.
Look, she like, we love Christ.
Mhm.
Listen, no more room for error.
Not that
Okay.
era.
No,
Not that era.
no more room for error.
Nobody is perfect, but that's one era I'm not willing to turn my
But
face
now,
to anymore.
I'll show you the flip side of that. This what can make love, I wouldn't say blind, but infatuation blind you from love.
Uh-oh. What you going with, bro? What that mean?
And I say that to say this, the love was there, was no need to go outside for anything, but this the conflict often men deal with when they got a street reputation and a reputation to just have what they want, when they want, do what they want, how they want, multiple door keys, they just won't see you come and go. They can be in the setting with you, and I hate to say this, but it's just honesty being real. They know they lane. They can see a let, and that's all they do is see a let. But in order to stay close to me, you got to speak to me and a let. It can't be no discreet how a uniqueness or something make her say like, whoa, chick said whoop whoop, and it's just the way she said it. So that's part of the attributes of a divided heart. And I say that now, I loved her, but my infatuation was to what I had to have what I wanted.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Is that a male perspective? Is
That was the male perspective. See, I think that's my perspective, because I can count on one hand when I've been told no for anything.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
just, that's just on the word of God.
So
But
you
why?
used to,
I put situations there. I give you a case scenario. Let's say when I was doing the music industry, I was doing whatever, right?
okay.
Right here, she can attest. If I did 50, I dropped 50 and made sure her name was on 50. Listen,
Okay.
she could have spent the 50. She trained me to stop going for the big bag because I'd be like, guess what, spend the 50. And she managed money, so I didn't have that problem. But that was my heart. But now watch this. Everybody knew in the streets that to be a part of me, they all knew her by Shorty. And my homegirls would say, listen, my nickname is Man. Man may let you in, but ain't nobody gonna supersede Shorty.
Okay.
So that was me having my cake and pie. And that was part of the whole scenario. Look, I love what's home. It's gonna have everything that I have. But listen, we on borrowed time. So look, whatever we getting at, let's get at it. It's gonna be for a period of time. It's gonna conclude. I need you to smile. I'm gonna smile. We walk off, and we're gonna keep it popping. But when you see me with her, you know your place.
Oh Lord, Jesus. Woo. That's all I can say. But that is not how y'all. So how did y'all bring it together? Because that's when
Christ.
y'all date.
Oh, the
Y'all
faith,
dating.
the faith.
Christ.
Now watch
Okay.
this. It's strange you say that. Now show you how when you build your spiritual principles and a man walking his right authority, right?
Okay.
Alette crushed me one night, and I stayed mad with Alette for about 5 years because of this.
No, you didn't.
Not mad to separate anything from her, because I felt like she took a big bag from us one night. And the scenario was, it was this particular lady. I don't know why, but she was an international girl, purebred hustler. And she said, man, if you stay close to me, I'm going to do something tonight. If you come with me, it's yours. Watch this. So happens when she tell me this, I'm leaving the music studio. Alette is with me. We've been recording all night. My label. I'm getting ready to go to LA, but she say this and it pricked me, and I'm like, well, Alette, let me hurry up and get you home. And Alette like, wait, what you mean, hurry up and get me home? I said, because I'm gonna go with Paris. I'm going to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Watch this. Alette told me that night. Now, mind you, me and her are in the car, Paris in the car in front. She's going to do the move. I say, I'm coming. Alette stopped me. I never forget it, on Claiborne and Canal Street, and say, look, you got to make a choice tonight, homie. You either want the bag, you want to go with the chick and hit the lick, or you want me.
Wow.
I can't have a man like this, you know? And watch this.
Wow.
It's a call the next day after going to the studio. That night, Paris went and got 15 grand. So when I hear the number, I'm laying like this now in the bed because I'm feeling some type of way. But I'm telling her, and she know one thing: if I touch 15 or a million, I come in and put the whole thing and say, Alette, I keep nothing for me, because I know she got me she got me. So I'm saying to myself, you just took 15 grand from us. Now I'm feeling like her now. Look, you ain't gonna stop the bags.
Oh Lord.
Nah, but look what her rebuttal was. I need a man. I'm not looking for a pimp. That's what she said in the call. She said,
That sound like my sister.
I see how you used to getting money. I see you get a lot of money, but that style there, it ain't gonna work with us. Either you're gonna take that style and be addicted to the lifestyle, or you're gonna make a decision tonight. And that night I had to make a decision. It
So
killed
she
me.
called you on your stuff.
It killed me.
Why?
I stayed angry for a long time because I felt like, now, not angry to reject her for anything. Because watch this. When that didn't happen, I was moving through the streets hard. So we gonna get money. But I'm like, that was an easy pickup. Why you did that? You know, so as
All
time,
money is not good money.
That's right.
I had to learn. I had to
All
learn
money
that.
is not good money.
I had to learn that. Like one night I walked in and just give you a scenario and I'm gonna connect the spirituality to it. I scared of let so bad one night I walked in, we was on the net, right? I walked in with this big black hefty trash bag. I had 27 grand in it and I just dumped the whole bag on her in the bed. It spooked her. She like, oh Lord, man, what you done did? Like, I'm like, I've been in the streets. I got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I began to see how that was affecting her. And then I began to self-evaluate, but watch this. I didn't know I was being set up by God. My entire life I've been in church. Well, guess what? I was a City Connect in church in the choir in one of the top pushers in New Orleans.
Look at him.
In church. Every day I walked out Mount Kingdom Missionary Baptist, 3756 Louisa Street. I went back and bust the streets down with the bags.
You can't talk about no more hypocrites.
No. So that's the way I was wired, right? And I began to say, wait a minute, my whole life I've been in the body of Christ. I'm understanding what I got now because I begin to stand back and watch her let. I'm like, this girl is a go-getter, but I'm never verbally saying it. I see her go do a normal prescription class. I see her go consistently to work. I see her hustle. I see her grind. Now I'm feeling some type of way because I'm like, wait, now I got to keep the real me from around her because I don't want an indictment to hit me and it wrap her up. Because I always told her, if anything happened to me, don't say a mumbling word. If it's a life sentence, I'm taking life. You was nowhere around. I never put her in situations, but I'm like, I know how the system would do. They'll come get at me, can't get me, and intimidate her. So I'm like, listen, until I'm out of this is what it is. Now, mind you, I was at a refinery working consistently, making great money. But once again, I was addicted to the lifestyle. I liked it to walk into a place, and if the shoes was $2,500, give them to me. And matter of fact, give me the outfit matching and the belt.
All right.
I'm going to get that again tonight. You know, so as time progressed, watch this. God shake it up. I got a deal on the table, 3 years, 450,000 with priority. I leave that Friday. I go back that Monday with the attorney to sign a deal for my record label. Between Friday to Monday, God changed my whole life. Every contact, every means, everybody changed their number.
What?
I had no more contact to a distribution industry I grew up with. From A1 to 360 million making Forbes magazine. So now I'm angry with God. So watch this. He kept declining the numbers. He kept declining the numbers. He kept declining the numbers. And I'll never forget it. One day I was sitting down and tears was falling. And I had said to myself, you know what? Since you let this happen, I'm either going to get rich ASAP, I'm going to get life.
Oh, Lord.
So my anger and my aggression, but this what I accidentally did, and this how God set me up. When I looked up from the tears falling, it's like I heard, okay, since you're not looking down, since you look up, now I can help you. And it was so transparent the way I heard it. Watch this. I'm in braids now. I share with Alette. We driving down General de Gaulle. I'm in the struggle. Everybody done turned their back. I even hear I got threats for my life if I move a certain way from certain people. So I was trying to see them too. I went where they was to make sure if this what it was, let me and you go to sleep together tonight in Past Life Center. At the same time, me and Alette in the car, we look at the building and say, let's go in there. And that was what, in
I think 2000.
2000.
Wow.
And from 2000 to what, 2014, we was there 14 years, right at 15 years. And in that moment, it was like God, and Alette and I say this, when you have someone that's so instrumental in your transition in redefining you, you know it, but it's sometimes a tense situation to receive it and accept it, because you're like, I'm so used to doing me. I don't need nobody to remold Lamata. Lamata been working. So am I giving up my space, my authority, my placement? But watch this. But here come love. But love say, if you stay in this network and this channel and you allow some space and you be vulnerable, you got everything you've been looking for.
So that was blind. It's because you never answered the question. Is
And I
love
said that
blind?
to say this. Love was always there, but infatuation had me blind.
Okay.
I knew she was the one, but I wanted her to be the one that be to one to accept and understand I had a certain method and process to who I was.
Oh,
But I knew
but
she was the one.
and she wouldn't accept that, so
And
that made it blind for you.
that pissed me off. Real, real bad.
Well, it pissed you off, but it made you come into an awareness
Yeah.
of a choice, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
And
had
this
to
would make,
choose.
and that's what I had to do. I had to choose. Watch this. The spiritual principle she was implementing unconsciously over the secular approach I was adapted and used to.
Oh wow, that's good.
So my home is in the street. Look how the enemy was trying to pull me back. They say, man, the streets ain't been right since you left the Cali, yo. Man, look, it's popping now. If you move it the way we was, woo-woo, it's gonna be. But guess what? Every time they try to pull me back, that self-reflection and deflecting and just saying, you know what? If they had what I have, now I'm having internal conversations with me. They would do what I would do. But due to the fact they don't have what I have, now I'm understanding they're trying to wreck what I have. So I made the choice. I left the streets alone. So guess what? When I left the streets alone, I began to hear this. Oh, that nigga, he henpecked. You know what I'm saying? Shorty done got in his spirit love. And guess what? This was crazy. Even all the ladies that I was attached to, as I pursued and stayed in Life Center and learned, because I was sitting in the back pew of the church for years, with long braids down my back and nobody, and we just was there. But watch this. I began to move closer, and the closer I began to get, I was getting closer to the anointing. And the spiritual transformation just was doing it. So I got to the point that I had keys for certain lady houses, right? I never told her let this.
Oh Lord.
I went to them, each one of them, and gave them their keys back. Like,
Well, thank the Lord.
I ain't there no more. And mind you, we not married.
Okay.
But watch this. Because now I'm in the faith and I'm pursuing it and I understand love, and now infatuation don't have a relevant place with me no more. Now love or infatuation is not blind. I understand it. I'm in love.
Okay.
Right? So now I'm in a place, I'm seeking my authority now. How do a man operate in the faith? How do he stand in his authority and lead his house? So that became my new quest. That was my new hustle, to understand how I hustle now. But watch this. But let so much go and be able to accept it.
Oh, that's got to be challenging.
Very.
Because you used to living a certain type of life, and then you had to give up all of that to go to another kind of life.
A mundane, plain, to me, normal.
You call it plain?
Look, normal. You know?
Like you still want to be in the street, Lawrence.
No, I had to. That was my moment. See, I'm expressing what I was feeling. Look what I realized. I used to be in the bed, sleep. I could hear the fire truck. I'm up on my feet running to the toilet, right? Because that's what I was wired to beat them through the water system before they hit the door, right?
Oh,
now
God.
In the fate, I hit a fire truck and I'm with her. We laughing, and that don't even concern me no more.
Well, yeah, because you ain't in that space,
That's
lifestyle.
So that was taking the authority, standing in the spiritual position of a man of God, heading and leading his home. Because guess
that's
what? I
good.
realized that if I stayed where I was, Alette was gonna look at me across the wall. And it's the sickness to addicted to the lifestyle. You don't care. Because I used to tell all the time, all I want you to be is happy. Look, if I got to lay it down for a while, move on. I just want to know you're happy. And I'm cool. I'm gonna be good.
Wow. So that sounds like a blind life right there, Lawrence, that you was living blind in
No,
your pursuit.
that's just when you don't care.
Is that you don't care, or you didn't care what came? You didn't care
Yeah.
what came your way. So
You
that
don't-
wasn't blind.
No, that you don't care about consequences. Because when you're addicted to the lifestyle, you don't care about the consequences.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Because I mean, that's a whole nother perspective. I don't know that life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in church all my life. So all
Me
I
too.
know is
Me too, man, violate.
I ain't been a hypocrite though.
I was a hypocrite.
I wasn't that. I wasn't singing in the choir and going in the street.
And I want to share this with you. Since you said that, the night, show you how God interject that. I was giving something to somebody one night. ATF was going to pick them up. When I came out my apartment to walk down and give it to them, they had a system. They would call me my little nephew name. When they called me my little nephew name, I knew that mean bring a certain thing. When they called that name, I went down with that certain thing. When I opened the door, God, take the breath I breathe, I lie to y'all. All I saw was the whole hallway with him and I turned to like Mardi Gras with lights. I knew he had set me up. So when they went to hit the door with the battering ram, I closed the door on them. The battering ram hit me. The door broke. I fell. I broke concrete steps in the project. So God was at work then. But watch this. When they're standing on top of the door with me, they're not there for me, but I'm thinking they're there for me. But I know he's setting me up to get there because I always put deadbolt doors, locks on all doors. And that's so if you hit it, when I hit an impact, I'm going to the toilet. I'm going to beat you at the water. I'm getting rid of everything, right? So by them coming for him and they hit the door hit me and I'm laying there. Look, they make a mistake. They focus and hit his apartment, which was the door under mine, and left the door on me. So at that point, I get up, move the door. I still got all what I was bringing him in my hand. I go hit another apartment and throw it in there, and they come hit that apartment and watch this. And I said that to say this. They hit that house, which was my apartment now, but they beat who I threw it to beat them at the toilet, so they didn't have it. It got flushed. So now I'm handcuffed, but watch this. The head choir director called while I was handcuffed on my knees on the floor.
Lord have mercy.
May God kill me dead if I lie to y'all. I'm on on my knees. The narcotics division gave me the telephone. They said, you got choir rehearsal Thursday. Now watch this. It's the grace of God. He could easily say he might be gone for a long time. In this apartment, but God covered them not to say the situation I was in. But the church called me to tell me tomorrow I had to be the choir rehearsal when I was on my way to Oakland prison being booked.
Oh my gosh. You just had, the Lord was with you, definitely. That's all we can say. What y'all guys have to say about this story that Lawrence is giving? How did y'all fall in love with each other? Brandon and Jared, how did y'all fall in love with one another? Let me get y'all saying some stuff. Brandon, how you fall in love with Anja?
Are we leaving with the youngest?
I'm trying to make sure the mic was working. I mean, it was.
I think it
was more so. I mean, so I was in the friend zone for the longest. Like we was just friends for the longest. So it was like, it wasn't so.
She put you in the friend zone.
Yeah, but it was like it just came back around like 5 years later, and
You take
then
that lasagna. Look at you.
so
You take that
like
food.
Felicia, y'all are unmuted.
Felicia, just just as loud.
but like we were just good friends for the longest, and then we started hanging out when she got out of school from when she graduated from LSU, and then it was just she I guess she started seeing, I guess not like that, but like because one no because one of her friends always said when we was in school, she was like, you look at him different. And shout out to Bree. But but it was like all that time, but it was like until then, and then it started like she called. I was in Las Vegas working a tech conference in 2019 around Thanksgiving, and she called me while we was talking, and it was just like, "You want to be my little yeah?" I'm just like, "Okay." I'm like, I've been waiting
You
all
want to
this
be her
time.
what? You want to be my what?
Do,
Be
does
my
you want to be
who?
my boyfriend?
Oh, that ain't what he said.
He
That
said my little
My
yeah.
little yeah. See,
my little yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Don't act like she never was around us.
I ain't never heard of that before. Y'all know I'm
Fela,
still old school.
you've been in
you've
New
been down
Orleans
here
too
You've
too
been in New
long.
Orleans long enough.
Whatever. I ain't never heard it.
Oh,
Me either, Shauna. I don't know this
Now,
like
You
see,
feel like
thank
you
you,
gotta
Annette.
grow.
Thank
Men in my age, y'all know.
Thank
Well,
you,
remember,
I
Annette.
don't
Thank
know.
remember
you.
you
I
said
know about a snack. I know about a snack. I don't know about that.
you an old man.
What's a snack? I don't know this about a snack. What is a snack? What's
it's
a
the same
snack?
thing. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for interrupting, hijacking your conversation. Keep going.
Oh, but yeah, what I was about to say.
I mean, that was really it.
But yeah, that literally was it though. But it wasn't like it was just the fact of it was built off a real strong and genuine friendship. That was the
Well, that's
biggest thing.
good.
Like because like previous relationships was like okay, yeah, it sound good the time like longevity of knowing people and this and that, but then when people wasn't showing up to things that I thought was important in my life, like my art exhibits, if I had like helping me go through photos to pick for an exhibit and this and that, like Andrew was helping me do that when we were still in school when she was just my friend. Versus when I was dating somebody, like I couldn't even get them to come to any of my shows and this and that. Like didn't want to go out, didn't want to do nothing, was a homebody and this and that. But it was more so like, dang, like I'm poor. And then me and Andrew was talking about this earlier. It's like if people know me as like in my boyfriend stage, like, and people if people know me just as a human being, I'm a giver, I'm a server. Like I'm gonna go above and beyond, regardless if it's just to make a flyer, to cutting the grass, to washing your car, making sure if I got extra food stamps, I'm gonna give you some, whatever it is. But like that's the person I am, and it's just like if I'm pouring that consistently into somebody, I'm not getting that back, and nobody pouring back into, like you said, Shauna, your love cup. Then like, what am I doing this for? But when we started spending that time as friends, and I'm like, oh, yeah, like this is what I need. This is literally like my person. So how all that built up over that time, I had to wait my time in the friend zone, but it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
It did not
So
like that.
you know, but yeah.
You got a different story, Anja.
No.
Why you friends on them so much?
Because he was beware.
I wasn't in the space for that.
We was yeah.
I was being a hot girl in college.
Oh, you was being like Lawrence. You had an infatuation in your you had an infatuation in your mind, but you had that. What you saying, Lawrence? I'm trying to think your thing. You was infatuated in your mind. What you say, Lawrence?
I was infatuated and addicted to the lifestyle.
Oh Lord, you was addicted to your lifestyle,
Oh,
honestly.
yes, indeed.
Yeah, I was in college for the first time. I'm free outside of, growing up. I spent a lot of time, whether it was school, dance, helping out with my sisters, whatever the case was. I didn't do a whole lot outside of that arena. And, I might have gone to a party here or there, but then when I got to college, it's all me.
Okay.
So I
So
was enjoying my
you
time.
wanted to live that life. I
I was
got
living
it.
my life.
And then at that time, like, I'm 3 years older, so it's like I was trying to come out of that part of my life. So I
Right.
was like, I just did all this. All right, cool. Now I'm like, okay, I need to start getting my life together. But so it was
Also,
just
y'all was in two
the
different
timing.
cycles.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because that's a blinding stage too in love to me. It's a blinding because even when as you get older, Alette and Lawrence can attest to this. You have different temperament
Right.
as you get
Oh yeah.
older.
Right.
Yeah, so your temperaments for one another
Right.
changes.
Right.
Where you could take some things when you were younger, you see them in your younger marriage. You could take a lot of stuff. Then you get older, you be like, I'm not doing this.
Right.
I'm not doing
Right.
this. So your
Right.
temperament, your cycles, you do go through, and that cycles to me are blinding because you don't know what that other individual is gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Mm-hmm.
no idea what their cycles. We coming into menopause right now, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't know what that's gonna look like.
And I know what it looked like.
What it look like, Lord?
Look,
What it look like?
look.
What it look like? It's gonna look like that for her.
No, when you wake up and you in sweatpants, a hoodie, and a robe and socks, and you go to the thermostat and it's on 60, that's what menopause look like.
Who got it on 60? Alette, you be hot or cold?
Hot.
Shauna,
Oh.
it be so cold in here that my skin, people could walk by me and say your skin cold. And this was crazy. This was crazy. The neighbors know. All the neighbors know my sisters next door. They come see me fully dressed and say she in a moment, huh?
See,
Girl,
that's the things you got to look forward to, though. I'm praying against that. I don't want to go through that, but you
But,
can't. You
but
you
now
don't
this
know
what I'm
what's
there
gonna
have to
happen.
be considerate. In the beginning, it was a little agitating because I'm like, man, this girl feel like a furnace is like rolling at a rapid rate over here under this comforter to my side.
wow.
Like it's crazy how
You can
hot
feel the
it
heat.
is. But then all
Wow.
of a sudden, it looked like we in a Shaolin Temple movie. She kicked the cover, and there go the whole comfort in the air. It's coming down. Now, why it's coming down? All the cold air cover. And look, listen, on the word of God, I have been, my mother-in-law come see me with a beanie hat on
Uh-huh.
and a full hoodie, undershirt and a shirt, sweatpants with two pair of socks on, and I'm under the cover with her. That's how cold it is.
Lord have mercy. Y'all can't get one of them heater, one side
Listen,
be cool,
no,
one side be hot,
oh,
babe.
we didn't did all that.
No,
You
we
did?
No,
Jesus.
no, no, now guess what? The half and half mattress, we found out that about after. Look,
That might be the next mattress we
let
get.
me tell you, tech wise, we done did everything. But when I
mm-hmm.
Yes,
tell you
indeed.
now, this what I'm learning, and I would share this with the young brothers.
Come on.
Now, this when you determine how sincere your love is,
Mm.
because as the relationship grow, there's gonna be difference in hormones, body shifts, moods.
But don't start.
You know, the things used to be so compatible, still gonna have a similarity, but they may be etched off and less sharper.
Yeah.
Like Alec created a quote for this year. Check this out. What it is?
Oh, I know it.
You heard it already.
No, but they
No
need to
more in 2024, baby.
no more in 2024.
I got
And listen, that's for everything. Listen,
it.
10 toes down on it. If it got to kill you, I would be at your eulogy, die, but no more in 2020.
Not that.
I was with her when she came up with it. I was like, I'm with you, sis.
Yeah. So, and I say that to say this, but it makes things, and now this the beauty to it from a relational point. Now I say this to all men. When you get to that considerate stage, like, wait a minute, this woman struggled with a pregnancy, they give birth, they go through menopause, cycles fading away, moods changing. Wow. I got to be more compassionate and have some more empathy, right? That's how a man that genuinely love their mate when love is not blind.
No, when it is blind.
You wanna be
Yeah.
there through the whole process, but not so much receiving, just being a comforter. Like, I see you. I'm sorry I can't help you in that moment, but how can I make you comfortable? How,
Mm.
how could I do that? And watch this. And I'm not leaving you until I see you stronger.
Mhm.
That's good. What about y'all when y'all go through y'all midlife crisis? Did you have that?
Who, me?
Yeah, did you
I
go
just,
through a midlife crisis?
You older than me.
I just cuts up and act a fool. Me, you
Well,
know
that's
me.
all the time, Lord.
Listen, look, I'm
That's
keeping it 100. I act a fool.
well,
What?
you,
I
I do
don't
that
know.
all the time.
I can't tell if he ever had a midlife crisis because they say when the men have midlife crisis, they do stuff like go out and buy a sports car, or I don't know, maybe they change the way they dress, dye their hair. I don't know what they do. He ain't went out and bought no sports car. He
He
dressed,
done changed his clothes. He wear all kind of stuff on that.
but he's always been like that.
That's
That's what I'm about to say. I can't tell with his style of dressing because he's always dressed like that. He want to be with the latest trends. Like even the,
Okay.
the neighbor next door told his mom,
Yeah, the little
this a
bitty
young
boy.
guy.
Yeah.
He in his mid-20s now, but this was a few years ago. He told his mom, man, Mr. Lawrence dressed like he young. Like that's just that he's always been like that. He wanna be whatever the up-to-date fashion is, that's what he wanna
Trendy.
be. And so
I
I
got
don't
you.
know if he ever had a midlife crisis.
Okay. But you know anybody who have Lawrence and what does that look like?
It's to me it's funny because I got a homie and I want to say he's a couple of years older than me, but I'm finding now I say this. The guys, just my perception, the guys I'm seeing having that moment is the guys who wasn't so relevant coming up.
Mm. All
And
right, thumbs up.
no, I didn't mean to do that. But
Oh.
like, and at the class, say I just went to our 48 class reunion, and it's strange you asked this question, but this was said to a young man who was in another alumni 2 years before me. I graduated in 84, he graduated in 82. And the girl said, you know what? You act the way you act, which was my homie who told him, you act the way you act because you never had it like that. That's why you
Mm,
won't do it like that now. And she
mm.
told him that at the reunion. So he's going through a hell of a crisis because everything he do, he want to be seen. Now, I've been being seen my whole life and then won't be seen. So
Okay.
I I don't think a crisis for me because I'm gonna cut up. I'm gonna act a fool. I'm gonna keep it in spiritual principles. I'm gonna enjoy life. I'm gonna live, love, laugh, and live. And I'm gonna die this way.
And that's the truth. I believe that.
Mhm.
Okay, so we didn't get to hear Felicia and Jared's story of love. How did y'all meet? How did y'all fall in love? Where she
Mm.
go?
And Shani, you
She
didn't
acting
ask
like
me
her
how we
mama.
fell in love.
You just said
You
that was
told it.
your life story.
She acting
No,
like her
I'm
mama.
she
coming
was at
back.
she was at the sandwich shop.
What? She was at the sandwich shop. Look, what happened? Wait a minute, Felicia, I'm coming back. What happened? Lauren, at the sandwich shop.
Look,
What that mean?
I laughed. They had a sandwich shop on St. Claude and Elysian Field called Jeans.
Oh, I remember that. It's still
I,
there?
that's where I met
It's
her.
closed down
It's
now.
closed down now.
Oh.
I met her let there. And guess what? She called me a dope dealer that night because I sent my friend. I was in my Lincoln Continental. Excuse me, but this how I was. I was in slacks, a pair of alligators, and a belt that matched the alligators with no shirt, right? So when my homie, I see her go into the sandwich shop, but I'm on the phone doing something. So I touched my man. I said, look, when Shorty come out, tell her, stop her for me. So I'm talking, and when I get through talking, she at this point has Dominique on her side. He had to be 5. And she said what made her listen to me, in spite of that, I looked like a pusher. We laughed about that now. She said, it was the way in which you said and what I said to her. If you have a moment, I would like to say something to you. Not what's happening, what's happening, sweetheart. Can I have a moment of your time?
That's what he said.
That's the exact words I said.
Oh, that was nice.
And from that moment,
No, not from that moment, because I ain't calling for a whole month.
yeah.
We exchanged phone numbers. I did not call him. I did not call him. I was not gonna call him. And my girlfriend who was with me was like, "You ever talk to that dude whose phone number you got at the sandwich shop that night?" I was like, "No, girl, I ain't calling him." She said, "Why?" I said, "Girl, he look like he sell drugs. I ain't calling him." And she said, "Just call him and see what he's talking about." I was like, "I ain't calling him." She said, "Just call him." So I called him. And he actually was getting out of the church. He said, "I'm just getting out of church with my mom." He said, "Let me hit you right back." And then he called me back and he asked me, could he come get me for a ride? Come get me and take me for a ride.
And they wrote my license plate number down.
And I told him he could. So when he came with his friends in the car. And I was like, "Where you going?" He said, "We're gonna go take a ride." No, I'm not getting. I don't even know you. I'm not getting in the car with you and all your friends. You want to take me for a ride? Go drop your friends off somewhere. So he did. When he came back, I told my friend, I said, "Girl, I don't know this man. He's talking about he worked at a chemical plant. He probably run his own chemical plant." I said, "Right home." I said, "We're gonna bring you home first and write his license plate number down in case you'll never see me again." And she wrote it down. She walked behind the car and she wrote it down. But guess what? It was from that day on. We've been together ever since.
Inseparable.
Oh,
But-
wow. That's amazing.
Crazy.
That's a cute story.
And she paid me. And she
I
paid
didn't
me a
pay
lot.
him. Lies.
Paid you what?
Nothing.
I was used to getting the bag, Shannon. I needed
You need to stop that mess.
Look, $22.09 for a kiss. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, shipping and handling $9.
Lawrence.
Alicia, how y'all met?
Yes.
How y'all fell in love?
No.
Oh, okay. So we actually met online.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I don't know who messaged who first. Was it me?
I messaged you.
He messaged me first.
I was not in good standings at that time.
So
What that mean?
I don't know.
I was on the road off of another bad relationship, so it was just
Oh.
like I'm trying to meet some friends,
Yeah.
and this friend stuck.
So we started talking on the whatever the app, the dating app, and then we exchanged numbers. And we talked on FaceTime to make sure he was a real person. So I was in New Orleans and he was in Gonzales.
She said you had to make sure he was real.
Yeah, because I didn't want it to be catfish. I ain't want, So, and I was like, Miss Alette, I'm like, look,
Same.
I need to know who you are and if I'm going somewhere with you. But I'm gonna get to that part real quick. So we talked on FaceTime for a while, but his truck wasn't good enough to really come to New Orleans because I wasn't coming to Gonzales. I don't know you, and I don't need nothing happen to me.
That's right.
And my mama didn't know about him at the point. So I was like, B, we already had some past issues coming to Baton Rouge back in the day.
Lord Jesus.
You don't stop talking about my old truck. My truck got me back and forth.
It's not.
It wasn't the best, but it worked.
So we started talking. That was 2017, and at first I was like, he too nice. So we stopped talking. We only talked for a few months.
He too nice.
I still don't understand how it was too nice. Like she would
That's
call,
the
I would take my time. I'd be like, "Look, I'm about to finish my shift. As soon as I finish this shift, call me."
That's the exact same
Like, I had
thing.
left my on the road job. I quit that and was working at another plant at home. Even at night, I would spend the whole night talking to her.
Yeah.
Like until she would fall asleep, and I'm like,
Nice.
Why,
So I
why
think
was that too nice?
Nice because Sean, remember we used to talk about a jelly and a jam. We was younger. Jared was very kind. He would listen. We hadn't even went on a date yet, but I was used to dealing with guys that were not as kind and gentle. So we had just kind of lost contact, and then with the way he was working, it just kind of
no.
fell apart.
We got into it because
Hello.
my truck started breaking down.
I don't do
Yeah,
this.
my truck started breaking down. Let's be honest. I had an old 1994 F-150 that I named it Blue. And Blue would break down on me if I sneeze wrong. Like, man, every time I turn around, I'd be driving down the road. It'll start getting dark, and I'd change all the light bulbs, and then the whole truck would have no lights.
Oh
Just
Lord.
out the blue. Like, engine problem, I change this, something else would break. Every time I wanted to see feet.
So
To me-
that stopped us.
Yeah, that stopped a lot of it.
So the funny
she
part
didn't want
is,
to talk to me no more.
yeah, we just kind of fell apart. So that next year, May 2018, I had posted some pictures. I think this was after Women Rock, and it was this other guy I was interested in. So I'm like, oh, but taking a picture, I'm put some new pictures on Instagram, whatever. Jared comments on the picture. So I'm like, let me send him a DM. Let me just say what's up, how you doing? Because we hadn't talked in a while. So I sent him the message, and I think Jared was in the call with his cousin, and he told his cousin, he said,
Man,
dude, she messaged me back. What do I say?
the bad part to that was I was on my way to Lake Charles to an ex
Oh.
to get something I had left at her house because I had broke up with her.
Oh.
And talking to somebody else, it didn't work. All she wanted to do was use me. So I'm like, whatever with you. I just want my stuff and get it. So we were gonna meet at this little spot. I was gonna get my stuff and hop back in the car, and we were gonna dip. I wasn't going all the way to the house. Nothing. On the ride, I'm in the passenger seat just scrolling because we talking, bullcrapping, riding, and I flicked it and rolled across, and I seen her picture just standing there, and I'm like, ooh. Man, I showed my cousin, and I'm like, bruh, that's the girl I went on a date with from off of POF.
We did not go on no date. We didn't go on a date till the next year.
No, well, that's the girl I was talking to off of POF. That's her. He was like, oh, well, what you gonna do? I'm like, man, I don't know. She ain't talking to me no more. My truck kept breaking down, so I don't know if she even gonna holler at me. I'm gonna see. Cause I still didn't even know we were still friends. So I messaged back. I'm like, hey, cute. This is smart like an emoji. Like, and left it at that. I never thought she was gonna see anything. Messaged me back within like 2 minutes. And I'm like, what I do, bro? He like, talk back. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I ain't think she was gonna talk to me. So we just started talking from there. And the rest is history from
We
there.
talked on Facebook. We talked on Instagram for a while. Then we got back on the phone, and we went on our first date. Amanda and Tafara kept Bryce, and Tafara was like, "Turn on your location so we know where you at. Because if something happen, I'm coming."
Like,
Okay.
I'm a bad man or something.
So we went on our first date to Copeland in Kendall. And when I came back to pick Bryce up, I never forget Tafara. I was like, "Fee, you are glowing. You look so happy." I'm like, "Oh, whatever." So we kept going on dates, and he would come to us. He would come here. Why are you here?
That's me.
Okay. So he would come to New Orleans, and sometimes I come up here. But Jerry used to tell me that I didn't want to be a girlfriend. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. We was going on dates for free. I said, great. And we hanging out. It's good. So Jerry used to tell me, he said, well, you don't be my girlfriend. I said, no, I'm not.
I don't say honestly. That had to do that because I really wasn't looking at nobody at that time. Like I was on some savagery. Like, it is what it is, and whoever did not care. And it's like riding one day, talking with her, hung up the phone, and someone like, "You can date him." I'm like, man, please, I ain't about to do this. This is level right, and it wouldn't leave me alone until I told her.
Don't go there.
And when at that time I wasn't there. When I said it, it shot crap on me. So like that was the first thing I said when we got on the phone. And she was like, "What?" And I'm like, I'm looking at myself like, "Why would you say that?" Man, I'm gonna call you back. And like after that, it just became like a number one thing. She answered the phone. You ready to date me? I ain't about to do that. She said no. I'm waiting every day. She finally called me one day and was like, "Hey, baby. Oh, I thought you didn't like me. Told you I was gonna get you." The next step, like, you gotta marry me. And I said that and hung up, but I was like, "Oh no, what did I just say?" And it just went from there. Like, every step of it was like, "What is you saying?" But it just kept coming. Like, "You gonna marry this one?" I'm like, "Man, I had a whole plan. You about to pimp this? I ain't about to be married no more. I'm about to be out here in these streets, left, right, moving, dipping and diving. I ain't trying to be married. I ain't never had no good relationship. I ain't never met no good people. I'm just about to pimp this through. I'm about to be the old man riding through in that caddy. Drop $40 off at your mama house. That was my plan. I don't need nobody." And I could not take feed for the life of me. Like, I would say something, be out late, coffee at a club or something, or riding around knowing I'm drunk. She would not say, like, "You need to go inside and go lay down." She ain't even mad with me. Like, I ain't never met nobody that cuss me out or something, or tell them bring them some money, or they need some new nails or bundle or something. It's different. I just couldn't shake her. It was like, the more I got to know her, the more I couldn't let go. And then she got me. She clubbed me over the head and gave me a box of rings and told me I was gonna marry her.
It's not how that happened.
All right, okay, I guess it didn't. It
So
came.
can we hear that?
I'm having some technical difficulties. Can y'all hear me? Is it still
Yeah.
echoing? Yeah,
No.
my other camera died on me. So I don't know. Y'all know I'm not in this world. I need my brother over here on this end with me. So I'm on the other end tripping. Cause I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I do not know what to do with this stuff. I'm trying to be fancy and I don't know what to do. But am I echoing? Y'all still echoing
No.
now? They said it's going away.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I don't know what I did to make it go away. Anyhow, this has been great. This has been wonderful. I just wanted to know from different perspectives. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is nothing about nobody that's up here, but the other situation I wanted to talk about blind is when you go through sexual situations. This is not talking about nobody. I just want us to talk about it because we don't always like to deal in those moments. And it can be a blinding situation. I was supposed to have a therapist up here, a sex therapist up here to talk up to us as married couples about those situations because it could be so many things that can cause blindness in that area. So what do you do when that comes about? How do you react? How do you meander through that? What do you tell each other? I have some friends, not none of y'all, that's going through that right now and they're not dealing with it. They're not talking. And I think the major thing is that you have to communicate while going through that. You can't just not say nothing, right?
Well, when you say blind? What do you mean by that?
Okay, so one issue is one parts of the male parts are not working.
Okay.
And they cannot function in the male area. And so the communication level is not there because y'all as a male, I don't know, I'm not a man, Lawrence and Jared and Brandon, wherever he is, could talk about that more. But I think that he's probably embarrassed or he doesn't know how to deal with what's going on with him. So he's not communicating to his spouse. And he's just mean and angry and bothered. And then she has to take that on because she don't know what to tell him. She don't know what to do with it. She don't know how to make him feel no better. So I really wanted the therapist to talk about this because I don't know. I'm not professional in that area. I don't know what I would do, but I would want us to talk about that because people don't like to deal with those type of situations. People don't like to confront issues, and I think that's a major thing that's going on with life, period. You cannot come out of something if you don't want no help,
Right.
if you don't seek out some help. So what y'all
Right.
think about that?
Therapy.
I think it just starts with being honest with yourself. Number one, that this is a problem.
Yeah.
It's not you. You know what I'm saying? It's your body. It's not her. So it's sitting down, understanding like, okay, this is beyond what I can do. Express that to her and find help.
Right.
Even if it's therapy for yourself, like you said, or medical if you need to. But you have to be mature about it, you know, to go ahead and move forward. To just, you know, to fix that problem. You got to address it. Because if not, you're sitting in there angry for no reason. You're mad at her, but the only problem is you. And your anger and not wanting to or be willing to explore your options of treatment and, you know, coming out of your frustration. So I guess it's like, you know, a maturity level.
I
Having a conversation with yourself.
I agree with that. It starts with the individual admitting to themselves that there is an issue.
Right.
You have
Right.
to be willing to admit that there is
Right.
an issue. And then, I mean, with so much information they have out there today,
Exactly.
like that's fixable. And
True.
it doesn't have to be Viagra. Like
Right.
they have natural
Right.
remedies that one can do to try to fix that. But you know, you also got to know your health status because blood pressure issues and blood pressure medications can cause a problem with that. So like it's a lot that go into it. But yeah, first starting with yourself and then trying to get to the root cause of why we having a problem with the function.
And then I would say this as a man. A lot of men, I think, take a perception that they lack in something if a situation occur in regards to intimacy, right? And I support that with this point. As you mature, it's going to get to a point that becomes mandated and mandatory that we concern what we take in, we concern what we consume. All that play a major role as you mature. And I'll give you a scenario. Monday, I'm just doing it because I want to do it. Monday, I'm doing a 21-day watermelon diet, right? I just want to do that because the functions of it, it expands the blood flow, it expands cellular development, it open up vessels, it do so much to the anatomy, it reduce future probability for maybe prostate cancer. It's a lot, it does. But watch this. When it begins to do that through the cycling of the body for the 21 days, it's not a detox, but guess what? It's almost like you doing a re-renovation to the human anatomy if you sacrifice and go through it. But I say this also too. Now, this for men. I have no insecurities. I know who I am and what I am. I know my capabilities and my partner know. We've been knowing for 29 years and a hell of a ball, right? But if you get to the point as you mature in life, watch this, a female body can begin to dry. What does the man do? Do he get in his feelings? Because I'm used to intimacy this way, and guess what? You telling me it may be irritable to you during this process. What do you do as a partner? And now the love comes in. Me, I'm going out and research to the max. I want her to have the ultimate experience because she is my life partner. I love her. I know how she's used to operating. I know what's her functions, how she likes certain situations. And if it's not there, we have to be mature enough to say, guess what? I may need to implement this. I may need to implement this. I may need to make some exploring. But get to the scenario where you comfortable in your skin to say, you know what? Let's help find a resolution to this. I can't be selfish and just say, well, I got to get me. No, we both have to have a sense of pleasure. So, and I find a lot of homies, and it's strange you said this, Shauna. I just had a homie to tell me the other day, listen, man, I'm to the point now, I don't even touch my wife. And it's just what it is. You know, her body not what it once was. She be tripping. She use her body to her advantage. And I said, well, guess what? You just say you don't want your marriage no more. If you're not willing to work through the scenario and work through her crisis, because guess what? She's going through something. Same way menopause, same way hormones imbalancement. Guess what? Keep living. Things are going to transition. You're going to have to take different means and different approaches to get to what you used to say was pleasure. So if men can't, but also men have to do their part to try to stay as healthy as possible. Because guess what? If you stay as healthy as possible, you can almost escape a lot of situations if it's not hereditary.
Somebody else needs to mute too, I hear. Somebody rambling in the background. But can y'all hear me? I'm not echoing again. I'm asking. I'm
No,
good.
go.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, how do we sensitize ourselves to that as women? So that was good for you with the female thing too. But as a woman, I would believe I would want to make sure I'm sensitive to my man in that space.
Exactly.
To make sure that, you know, you're not begruntled and nagging him because he might can't do something that he used to could do. And so you making him feel worse because he's in a space. So I think we need to have comfort in that sexual space, period, and comfortable to talk about it. We don't share enough of that. That's why I wanted to do this tonight, because I'm like, everything is so untouchable and I can't stand that. How do we get better if we don't touch things? How do we get better if we don't deal with that blind part? Because that's blind. It may be coming. You don't even know if it's coming. You don't know what's going to happen in your marriage. That better or for worse. We don't get to pick that. We don't get to pick the richer or the poor. We don't get to pick that. Life have a way to throw some other things to our way. And so what will we do when we face those blind spots? Right?
Right.
That's what so that was good, Lawrence. So a watermelon diet reframes everything in your body. I need to do that for 21 days.
Listen,
But you just got to eat watermelon every day.
Every day, 21 days.
Juice it and drink the juice. Look it up on YouTube. They have a lot of
In
information
fact,
about
I'm gonna send you the link.
I like watermelon, but I'm probably going to be tired of it after 21 days.
But what you're gonna realize when you drink it, let's say the portion of the morning, it's so filling. You're not gonna have the appetite, because I was doing it unconsciously. You're not gonna have the appetite for a couple hours. So if you do 3 different 8-ounce, 10-ounce, you can make it through the day. Now, I would say this, for substitution purposes, do that. But when you get a sense of hunger, do nuts, almonds, or something not caramelized and extremely sugar. And guess what? You can make it through the night, because I done did it fasting just water, 21 days. You know, so you can sustain just off nothing almonds, and they're filled with protein.
Okay. I didn't know about the watermelon diet, so that was good information. Listen, my brother used to work us out, child. Listen,
Like a dog.
Lawrence used to kill me, y'all.
Like a dog. But ask her, did she lose 3 dress sizes?
I did. I need to come and let you kill me again. I did. I used to stay fussing and hollering at him, though. I'm not a lat. I got bigger legs than a lat.
Okay, but guess what? We hit our quota.
We did what?
We hit our quota.
No, we didn't, because I'm still fat now.
No. What happened is you say I hurt your feet and you stopped.
Oh, yeah. I told you, did I?
down.
Oh, you went down tremendously.
I
Because
know I-
remember, you
I
came one
did.
day working out and you say, Damien stopped you and said, "Shut."
Yeah, I did. I'm giving you the credit. I need to come back tomorrow. You did, you did. It's so lovely to have y'all up here. I think we went past our time. I was trying to do an hour, but it's been good. I hope we kind of touch some areas for people to get some good ideas of marriage and what it looks like. Everybody's different. Everybody got a different way that their marriage and your perspective is not going to be the same perspective as the other. That's another thing. Stop comparing your marriages to other people's marriages. Your house is your house.
Right.
Your marriage is your marriage. You got what I used to tell you, Felicia. You got to find your own rhythm. It
Right.
cannot look like your mama and daddy. It has to look like Jared and Felicia.
That's
You
right.
know, you have to concentrate on finding your blind spots and
most
making
definitely.
sure you dwell in those places, the good places. We had a lot of guests to come up here. Look, Jamal's oh dang, I'm late. I'll rewatch it. We have a lot of good little people that came through. So y'all push the share button. Somebody need to hear about love being blind, and what to do. Lawrence told us enough to what to do, and when we all kind in all kind of places of life, you gotta know how to go through the cycles together. You gotta know how to love one another and be there for one another. Y'all have anything else y'all want to say before we leave? Anybody?
When you were talking about having the sex therapist on and the issue that that particular couple was going through, I thought about even as younger couples, like once you get married, you know who you're dating. If you're involved before you get married, which probably you probably all will. How it changes, like the sexual intimacy changes when you get married.
Mhm.
Because you know when me and Jared first got together, it's like okay, now we married, we running a household,
Right.
we have Bryce, we're going to work, we're doing A, B, C, D, and it's like whoa, okay, the honeymoon phase is over. Now it's like me and Andre have had this conversation of many a times of how to, as women, still be able to incorporate that in your marriage because it is important. It's important to both of us, but I think being
So
a
much.
male is really is
Oh,
a
yes,
part of who
ma'am.
they are.
Yeah.
So when we be like, "Oh, I'm good.
Two
I'm
thumbs up.
tired. I'm exhausted. I'm this. I didn't work all day. I done drove here. I didn't fought Bryce." But it's like this still your husband.
I bought him too.
Not as much as me. So yeah, I think that's the thing too. A lot of young couples don't realize is when you get married, the wedding day is one thing, but to walk it out after that,
Yes.
That's the main thing. Is after that wedding, yeah, you had your fun for the night. You did the big bang and all of that, yeah. But now the work comes in because guess what? I have tied myself to this person.
Right.
Now on top of this, now okay, we need to have a house. Now you're trying to, if you don't already have one, you're trying to figure everything out.
Right.
House, life, bills,
Right.
incorporating your bills with my bills.
Right.
I handle mine this way. Fee handles hers this way. So we had to sit down and really just, which we still do. We lay everything out and look at it like, okay, I'm doing this with this. Well, your check is mine is every week, yours is every 2 weeks. So how can we incorporate both to shit
Right.
together?
Right.
It's a whole lot of conversations you need to have and start thinking of before you can say you can tie the knot with somebody. And that's the main thing about love and always too is like having them tough conversations in advance. Knowing your person, knowing your, the person you choosing. If y'all really about to do this, you need to understand. Okay, what's your finances like? This is a conversation you need to know because you about to tie yourself to this.
Right.
What's your finances like? What's your method of saving? What are your goals you're trying to achieve? How are you with setting schedules with certain things? Just it could be the smallest thing. Can you cook? Can you not cook? If you can cook so much, even if it's just some egg and rice on a Thursday,
I'm gonna start cooking that.
But incorporate it and know, you know what I'm saying, your weaknesses and your strengths before you go there and tie yourself to a person.
Yeah.
That's my main thing. Like I've met a few people like this just got married or thinking about getting married. I got some younger friends and they're like, man, I love this girl. And I'm like, are you sure? And I'm like, And I had to stop him. Like, man, what you mean? I'm like, before you get mad, realize what you about to do. Because I'm like, trust me, I love the hell out of my wife. But it came with a lot of stuff that I didn't see
Oh Lord, yes, Lord,
before we got married.
yes, Lord,
Everybody bring baggage.
Yeah, and when we got married, all hell broke loose.
yes, Lord.
That I was nowhere near prepared for.
Mm.
And
Thank God for
I'm
Jesus.
serious, like, if I'm glad that, like, you know, the time we dated for a long time before we ever decided to get married. She calmed me down so much before we got married. Like, if we would have got married with me back then, I'd have been in jail. It would have been a wrap within the first year. I was hot, didn't matter, you sneeze wrong. Don't care. But like being with her over time calmed me down so much.
Mhm.
And you know, being able to think more and you know, get into my process of understanding myself.
Right.
Before we did that, I thank God for that, because we wouldn't have lasted 3 years. I'm serious. Older, younger, like my mentality back then would have killed this within the first 6 months. I had no chill.
Thank God for Jesus.
But it took a lot of, you know, situations and combat. We really talked a lot. Like we would talk about ideas,
And
my
we're
ideas,
still-
what
we're
we wanted to,
still
and we
talking.
still do now.
And I feel like we're changing. We're
Exactly.
not the same people we were 5 years ago. Our lives are changing,
Right.
Of course.
and being
Right.
okay with the change.
Right.
The thing, those conversations
Right.
saved a lot of heartache, headaches, stress, because I knew. Even if we didn't meet up, I knew what our goal was.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it's aggravating at the moment, but I know we on the page. We just got to make our path groove together,
Mhm.
and that's what it is. Is just having those conversations. If you're really interested, you gotta have those tough conversations.
Because we're still going through the trenches, but it's like, okay, we together.
Right.
Going through it, and you know, life is about to change again. Bryce is going to middle school. This is different. I'm going back to school.
Right.
I never went to school with 2 kids, a husband and a dog.
2 dogs.
2 dogs.
And I'm honestly looking at thing about going back to school soon myself.
You got
So-
something to
You said 2 kids?
2 dogs.
2 dogs.
No, she said 2 kids. Maybe she meant to say 2 dogs, but she said two.
Oh, I heard 2 kids too. I'm like, you pregnant, girl?
I wouldn't have told y'all like this. I couldn't have not told my mama.
Jesus.
Lord Jesus. No, I have 2 dogs
Oh,
that don't
damn.
listen, and 1 human child.
I'm about to start a parade. I'm like, I'm happy. What?
Not yet. Keep praying.
I'm about to turn Baton Rouge out, boy. I'm about to say.
But then you know what? The beauty to a relationship and the covenant agreement it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Exactly.
So
Oh,
you're gonna process on the go. you know.
And I heard that for so long.
And when
I
you
never
see
understood
that,
till now.
it's gonna make a lot of sense. Like to be 100%, not just saying it because she hear me and let's say this is my best friend.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We transparent. And guess what? God is good. I was a handful. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
too.
and
Still a handful.
I agree with you. Because if look, I'm gonna have to show y'all our wedding video.
oh yeah,
But when we were walking up, me and the pastor together, when me and Bishop was walking up, and that was the first thing he told me, smiling. He like, "What's going on?" He like, "Man, when I saw her walking out, that's the first thing I told him. But that's my best friend."
yeah. Oh, most definitely.
And he was like, he had to repeat that because I'm like, bro, I don't really like. I got family, and I got some real cool friends I've met over the time, but
Right.
nobody's filled that spot like she has.
Most
Right.
definitely.
I love the few people I call my friends because they tested.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I won't see something different. Like I don't know. She's met that ugly Jared. And I'm like,
Yeah. But what's so
that's
beautiful?
somebody else. That's a whole nother.
And what's so
Not gonna say
beautiful?
demon, but that's a whole nother person.
When we did this, Shauna, and to everybody, my sisters and brothers, Life Center would never have a counseling session like me and Alette.
Ooh.
Listen, it was so bad. We got married in 03.
No. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, girl, if you do that again, I'd ask you to remember when you get married. See, now the
Oh,
Negro
man.
out. Look, 03. We've been together, married 21 years, together 29.
Okay.
You keep doing the same thing. See,
All right.
see, that's when she rubbed me. When she rubbed me, I come down. Show you all the years, and this need to really be said and heard. When we as men do things out of selfish motives, women take and categorize it and put it in the inventory of hurts. When we started the counseling, 1 year, we feel front and back page. I watched Alette get up and start screaming for something took place in 98, couldn't stay in the room with me, and it was 2003. I'm like, that's 5 years. We done got past. I got past it.
Right.
But we did this curriculum before I say I do and after I say I do. That book opened a lot of Pandora boxes. I'm like, oh my goodness. And it even got to moments where I said, look, Alette, and we both felt the same. When we went into counseling, we looked at each other and said, if we make it through this one here, you know, but if you move on, I get it. If I move on, she was like, I get it. But it was hard. It was hard. And watch this. During that time, this is the commitment I made as a man trying to seek my authority in the faith. We went absent, no sex, for 1 year. Matter of fact, I moved in the guest room and put on the door index card 2738 and a half. The address is 2738. And guess what? We committed to each other not coming in the room with no promiscuous look. We was in here like Pawpaw and Mama dress for 1 year. And watch this. And one night, God take the breath I breathe a lot of y'all. One night, I went in to watch a movie with her in her room, in the master bedroom, because I lived in the guest room for 1 year. And when my body got aroused, I screamed. That's how scared I got. And I hurry up and got out the room. Right? That's how locked in I wanted to walk in the spiritual authority and not just pretend and play the role. But now watch this. This is how God showed up when all counseling was over. The only available day we could get married was October the 7th. 7 is the number of completion. 8 stars a new beginning. But guess what? For 1 year, and in that process, I began to lay on, and this is how God was doing a twofold situation. I began to lay prostrate before God and submit all my hurts and my weaknesses. And lo and behold, I never knew she would pass the room watching me. And one day when I was laying out before God, I felt her hand in my hand. And ever since that, we've been laying out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Won't he do it?
He
Won't he do it?
And I told God, God, you know me, I'm going to pull a plait out her head as every time I can pull a plait out. Yeah.
Amen.
Amen. Oh, glory. Oh.
This man's crazy. That's your husband, Miss Alette. That's your husband.
I know you're not shouting.
What? Something just went on. Girl, the Church of God in Christ just kicked in.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm all right.
So I
That's
was
some
telling
good stuff,
everybody,
though. That's
this-
some good stuff.
Guess what? Through the tender moments, the delicate moments, through the heartbreaks, through just know.
The Sister Wallace said, I remember that.
Yeah, look, Sister Wallace, I remember that. You just know you can endure the next phase. Just work together. Just work together. It's gonna be all right, I promise you. Because guess what? I'm a lot to deal with. And Alette trained me, and I ain't scared to say it. The girl have really helped me accept life from different views. Because I was like, I need it today, tonight. I can't wait. If it gotta kill me, I'm dying. I need it. She broke that cycle in me, and she said, man, listen, it's all right to get in increments and live through joy with it.
I like that. We're growing to that.
Yeah. I'd work some days back and forth, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever. I'm gonna get my bread. I ain't care.
Jared got
nothing.
more planes than God, y'all. He got more
I'm trying to think of 17 master plans to make something shake. I got to get it. No matter what, I'm coming at it. We gonna be all right.
There you go.
That's
There you
it.
go.
That's the key.
And when it falls short, I say seek ye first the kingdom of God.
Every
That's
time.
Oh,
That's a let.
Every time.
That's a
And I
let.
be sitting there looking like, look here. I know I told him already. Look,
talk to him.
he told me work. And then he said in the Bible, pay without working, I'm going to work.
A wise man makes his plans. God orders his steps.
All right,
That's
girl.
Say
You
it,
better
say it,
say it.
sister. Say it, sister. Say it. Yeah.
He give me every
Come
time.
on, sister. You better preach.
Yes.
Yeah. Say it. Say it.
She gets me every time.
Anja and Brandon is so quiet as always. Do y'all have any words of wisdom? Well, before we close this out, what would y'all say to the young couples or the young people?
Especially for the young couples, learn how to communicate early. Like, because we see a lot of older couples that don't know how to communicate, and we see the positions and why they in the positions they in.
Right.
But in our generation too, like, communication is lost because of technology. Like, nobody know how to just sit and have a conversation. So that's one thing that I appreciate, that we communicate. And then Shauna, for you teaching us to have those tough conversations like early on, so that, you know, and then having those conversations in a good time, like in a peaceful time. Don't do them when y'all in the heat of the moment, the emotions high, to raise the frustration, the anger, all that. That ain't the time to do it. And then understanding how people process things, if they slow, if they fast. But then, even if you a long processor like me, learning, like, not being stuck in that space to be like, okay, I'm gonna always just process long and use that as an excuse or a cop out. But then developing on it, maturing on it to understand, of like, all right, what from a previous situation can I utilize now to help me process this a little faster, so that we can find a solution to what's going on already.
Most definitely.
So
Most definitely.
that's the biggest thing, is just having that open communication about everything. Like, being humble, open, and transparent. Like, I call her my hot girl, she called me a hot boy. But
That's right.
like, you know, it's the New Orleans culture side of it. But then if you humble, open, and transparent, or honest, open, and transparent, that put a whole different context to it. So keeping it in that space, like, the communication, because you can't do nothing without communicating. You can think, you can assume what somebody needs or what they thinking, even though she think I can read minds, which I can't.
He can read my
No,
mind.
only the Lord can do those things. But
Jared, my mind.
Be swell. I don't.
but at the same time, it's like you still have to be open to communicating, because it's gonna be some hard conversations, but it's better to have those conversations than be angry, frustrated, start, you know, arguments, and then that ends up creating more bitter roots and all of these other things. And you know, I was about end of vows,
Expectations.
all that. So you gotta start right there with the communication.
And remember, the way it starts out, y'all need to end it. All of us.
Yeah.
You know, let the best visual be what you witness in each other. You don't need to go out to the slick side, peep at something and say, ooh. How about we entertain each other in that manner?
Right.
You know, don't come one particular way and then transition and think it's cool because you cool. No, it ain't cool. You didn't come that way. Let's advance it and make it better, more relaxed, more sweeter, and let's grow together. Because guess what? I tell her, look, ooh, girl, that thing on the left is working. Yeah. You know, you know what I'm saying? I want her to feel that. And look, and about to say I got $3.09. What's popping?
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep the excitement. Keep the excitement. Don't let no visual outside deter what you got. Keep the excitement.
Brother, come on, brother. You be all right sometimes. Anja was saying something.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like he said, he takes a minute to process, and the opposite. But I have to realize that he processes differently, and if I'm ready to talk about it right this second, and he's not, I have to be okay with that. And it might even be better for me sometimes, because I, in that moment, might be I might want to communicate out of my emotion
Yep.
instead of looking at the bigger picture and everything that's going on. So just keeping that in mind if you're processing differently. And then even when it's time to have those difficult conversations, it may be harder to hear, especially in our situation. Sometimes I have a sharp mouth, I have a sharp tone, and it can come off in a way that makes him feel like a child. And so I have to be conscious of that. And sometimes I might have to hold his hand and be like, look, babe, and tell him how I feel. But me holding his hand in that moment can help him to not feel like I'm attacking him. Instead, I'm trying to make him feel comfortable and explain to him how I feel and how we can move forward on whatever the situation is. So just being conscious of the way that you're approaching the conversation in addition to having the conversation.
Exactly.
That's true.
Well spoken.
One thing Bishop Wiley told us, he said, outdo loving each other every day. Jerry, you beat her. Felicia, you beat Jared every day. And my mother-in-law, like y'all was saying earlier about not speaking in your anger. Me and Jared got into an argument. This was a while ago, and she was like, you need to pray for time and space. And that's when you talk. Because I'm like Anja, I process quick. So I want to and Jared can sit there and look at me like, you finished, and that makes me angry. But I'm trying to learn. Shut your mouth, girl, because you're gonna say some things that he might create. Bitter root judgments might be in him because of things that I said that hurt his feelings. So I'm learning to come back and apologize. And sometimes when we just make each other mad, we just get on each other's nerves, and then we be friends again.
There you go.
I'm not one. I'm like B. I can't. If we have an argument, it's best I stop. Because if it gets to the point, you yada yada, and I start to get hot, all tables off. I'm hurt your feelings. Because at a point, I stop. I'm hot. I don't care anymore. I'm hurting. You gonna hurt. We're gonna hurt together in this. I'm gonna hurt your feelings. And I know when I do that, I'm not right. So I can be like, B, are you done? Because if we keeps going, I know I'm going to hurt your feelings. I refuse to hurt your feelings. I'm going to stop because what I'm going to say ain't going to come out the right way. I know it's not. It's going to be way left and you going to take off and it's over.
Elder Riley is saying,
because I know I'm going to ball over.
Elder Wiley saying what y'all saying, always process first.
Exactly.
And so that is the key to things. Don't try to talk about stuff when you all both are heated. It's not always the best thing to do. All right, you guys can start up a whole nother conversation. I am trying to stand to my time. We're going to have to do this again because I can see you guys gel well together, and people need to hear what we're talking about because we want to. Yes, we want to talk about family. We want to keep family growing. We want to keep family expanding and keep family living. And you guys sound like y'all got a lot of life to live. Oh, yeah. So I'm excited. Thank you so much, Lawrence and Alette, for y'all wisdom and y'all understanding, for being, the oldest of the crew. Thank you for
to the brother, Shauna, tell him this. Look, Brown.
I can't tell him.
This is what you got to do.
What?
After the complications, man, look.
What?
Ask for a little something in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen. You gonna get a whole discount special.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
That is. We gotta be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Good night.
You want to fuss with me tomorrow?
No.
Dang. You sure you don't want to fuss tomorrow?
Listen,
that dude is a mess. And he don't put his head back on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cowboy Dundee. What in the world? Anyway, Lawrence, can you say a prayer before we leave?
Yeah, most definitely. Father, thank you for this day, your grace, your mercy. Thank you for being unconditional and loving God in spite of us. Thank you for having Shauna placed for these difficult discussions regarding covenant and relationships in the name of Jesus. God is such a delicate, fragile area need to be touched because a lot of partnerships are suffering in silence. So Father, I ask you, each and every individual, that fellowship that come on the platform, make their covenant stronger and interwoven beyond their imagination with genuine love, authentic for one another, in the name of Jesus. And now, do what only you can do. Keep us, guard us, sustain us, and help us to understand each other. In Jesus' name, amen.
That's why he my brother. And he ain't the only one that can pray. All of these are prayer warriors up here. And I thank God for them being a part of my life.
And Lord, please let her do something after this over in the name of Jesus.
There you go. Let's put him to bed. He can go sleep.
Glory.
Go to bed.
I'm about to give him some Benadryl.
I like that.
Praise the Lord.
That is funny. You gonna give him some Benadryl?
Donna, see when your body tolerant to substance, you keep all night till they get weak. When they get weak, it's on and pop.
Look at him. That's a mess. You just wake up with that on your mind and go to sleep with that on your mind, huh?
That's men.
Donna, that's the way
Girl,
to
what? Donna, don't get that started, okay?
That's men.
Girl,
My fault.
That's a part 2 conversation.
yes.
Donna, this is
That's
not
a
my
part 2
fault.
conversation.
Yes,
We're
it
gonna
is.
talk about that the next time.
The Lord said I'm part of a royal family.
Oh Lord, part 2.
The blessings.
Oh my God.
Part 2. I love you guys. Y'all
Love
have a
you
good
all.
night. What happened?
Good night.
Y'all have a good night. Until
Y'all
the
do the
next
same.
time. Let me see how I get out of here. Y'all
Shauna,
give
why
me a
you didn't
minute.
sing us out?
Oh no, I sung earlier today. You gotta go back and
Oh,
look
she
at
did
that.
such a beautiful job. Such a
Thank
That
you.
holy, holy, holy. Oh,
This-
that was amazing.
Listen, this is not that sad. This is Love is Blind. It's Love Blind. Come on in the morning and then I might sing, okay?
Man, I'm feeling devil on me right now. I'm a cuss a let.
You gonna cuss her?
If you don't sing holy, I feel a devil
You
on
better go
Oh,
ahead on.
thank
Nobody
you.
playing with you.
Good night.
Good night, y'all. Until the next
Good
time. Let
night.
me see if I can do
Good
this
night.
thing right.
Night.